So guys, I just stepped out of the photograph and yeah, it's a very beautiful film, right? I mean, there's so much emotion and no, come on. I didn't get in my feelings on the car ride home at all. Trust me. Okay, maybe I got in my feelings just a little bit. Siri, play me some 90s R&B. What's going on, you guys? James here with another Real Review, and today we're talking about the latest film from Lakeith, Stanfield, and Issa, The Photograph. It's a very nice movie, as you just saw. Now, before I dive into what made that movie so enjoyable, if this is your first time here at the channel, welcome to Real James. Now, if you're wondering who that is, that's me, and I love talking all about movies. So I drop a new video each and every day. You're not gonna wanna miss out. Go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to tap on the notification bell right next to it just to stay up to date with anything new that I'm dropping. Don't forget to like this video, share with all your friends, and in the comments below, let me know, what are y'all doing for Valentine's Day? Because you should be seeing this movie. A little bit of housekeeping for you guys. Yesterday I dropped my review for Will Ferrell's new movie, Downhill. Not very good, but you should see why it's not very good. I also have my Oscars reactions to this year's award winners and losers, so you're gonna wanna check that out on the channel or in the links below in the description. Okay guys, so let's waste no more time and get right into why The Photograph worked so well for me. If you don't know much about the movie, Lakeith Stanfield plays a guy named Michael who works as a reporter, and he's going out on assignment trying to find out more about the life of this guy named Isaac and this photographer named Christina Ames. Somehow that ties him all the way back to Christina Ames' daughter, May, played by Issa, who's a curator at a museum, also making an exhibition based on her mother's photographs. There's a lot of intertwining in the beginning. The movie shows you a lot about the past to let you know that sometimes history might repeat itself. Or will it? So as you can gather, this is definitely a dramatic film with lots of love, and yeah, in some moments I was in my feels. But let's talk about what made this movie work for me so well. Now it's funny, if you saw my review for Downhill, I talked about how Julia Louis-Dreyfus and Will Ferrell had zero chemistry. I mean, I didn't believe them as husband and wife. Now compare that to The Photograph. Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield have so much chemistry. They're really, really good together, and I believe all their conversations, and I think that their love actually was, in a sense, very personable. There's this one scene where they're sitting at dinner just casually having a conversation about hip-hop, and for some reason I wanted the rest of the movie to be just like that moment, and luckily most of it was, because it was just very engaging and I felt like I was at the table with them. Both of them just act so well, and it's a good example of when decent writing meets good to great acting, because I feel Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield made this script much better than it was originally set out to be. Now that's not taking away from director and writer Stella Meghie. I think she did a good job at creating a very easy environment for both of these actors to play in, and boy did they do a good job. So I did just mention the movie plays with time. It goes in the past and then it gets into present time. I think that all the moments in the present with Issa Rae, Lakeith Stanfield, and some of the supporting cast really felt much more natural for me. I didn't like a lot of the flashback moments, but I can talk about that in a little bit. Speaking of the supporting cast, some of these actors and actresses were just so freaking funny in this movie, and it flowed so well. Lil Ray Howery, who was in Get Out, if you haven't seen Get Out, you should, but he's so good here as Lakeith Stanfield's brother, and oh man, there were some moments where I literally was laughing out loud, and I was hoping nobody heard that because my laugh is like not the most quiet thing in the world. But the writing there was just so good, and I really felt like I could believe their relationship as well as brother and brother. Now outside of the acting, the soundtrack was aces. I mean, each song, one's by Anderson .Paak, her, it just fits every scene. So Stella Meghie did a really good job at just being able to curate scenes not only behind the lens, but also with the soundtrack. Yes, I was tapping my fingers a little bit, and I understood the songs they chose, and I was playing the piano in the air, you know those things. But then there's the score by Robert Glasper, which is, man, it is so good. It gives you this old-timey feel. I mean, the piano, the stringed instruments, the subtle hit of the drum in the background really added to the film, and I think he's got a promising career ahead of him because this is his only, second motion picture that he scored. He's done one documentary as well. I think Robert Glasper is on his way up in Hollywood, and it's really cool to see. So there's one more thing that's absolutely beautiful and stunning about this movie, and that's the cinematography by Mark Schwarzbard. His eye behind the lens really helped this film feel so much more emotional. Every time there was romance on the screen, I got much closer into their faces, and you can just see the expression on both Issa Rae's face and Lakeith Stanfield's face, and it just really worked for me. And sometimes not a single word would be spoken, but I felt like the cinematography was telling me everything I needed to know about that moment. It's just really stunning at times. Now, not everything worked very well in the photograph. There were some things that I felt bogged the movie down just a little bit. And one of the things I can think of right away is going back in the past. Now, I know I said that all the moments in the present were really good, but they really contrasted heavily with everything that we flashed back to. The movie does it a lot. Whenever Issa Rae's character, May, is reading a letter, the movie jumps back and uses that as a plot device to move everything forward in the present. If that sounds confusing, trust me, I was confused in the beginning too. But the movie really gets bogged down and slows down its pace when we get into the past. Not saying the acting was bad, actually there were some good performances to be had, but it felt a little bit more heavy-handed and the emotion was a bit more forced. I had a bit of trouble also keeping up with the film's time and location. Even though we're in the present, sometimes they would jump from location to location without a lot of establishing shots, which made everything feel scattered. One minute we're in Louisiana, the next we're in New York, and then somehow we get to London, and it becomes a bit jarring for the viewer, especially me. And I guess Ford Focuses must be like the fastest vehicle in the world because they got from New York to Louisiana so fast. Or did they fly there? See, we'll never really know. So overall, The Photograph is a movie that's worth a watch. I mean, it is the film to see this Valentine's Day weekend. Lakeith Stanfield's career just continues to trend upward. Issa Rae, man, she was really fun in Little, a movie I actually liked, and her on-screen career really just continues to go up and up with The Photograph. She's very good in this role. It's a natural fit for her. The Photograph might not be a perfect movie, and it really isn't unlike anything we've ever seen before, but Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield make this film their own. I guess if I had to sum up The Photograph, it's really got this 90s slow jam vibe. It's like I'm stuck in the lyrics, and that's exactly what I wanted to feel from this movie. Alrighty, you guys, so there you have it. That's my review of The Photograph. If you enjoyed everything you just heard and saw, go ahead and hit the big red button below, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to tap on that little notification bell right next to it. Like this video, share with your friends, and guys, I love the discussions we're having in the comments, so let me know below, what do you think of this movie? Did you like it? Did it get you in your feelings? Do you not like this film as much as I do? Again, if you haven't seen my 2020 Oscars reaction and my review for Downhill, the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll catch you at the next screening. Siri, play me some Al Green.